Hello, and welcome to this short screencast about how we do lessons in our classroom. So I had a few parents ask some questions about math. Why are the math pages not coming home for homework, and why are they mostly done in the classroom? And the reason is this year I'm doing a workshop approach. In years past, I have done whole group, and then we have done it last year where we differentiated each third grade classroom based on ability, and we separated one class was the high, medium, and low. This year we're staying in our own classes, and yet again we're doing a workshop approach where the students are divided up based on their own needs that they need to have for math. And in those needs, they're working in a small group with me every day. So how I teach my math lessons are 15 minutes. We do a whole group introduction video about what we're about to learn. And we'll do a few examples as a whole group on the board and on the screen, and we'll talk about it. And we'll review vocabulary from the previous lesson. Then what we'll do is that I have 4 stations around the room. I have computers, independent, teacher, and games. And on the screen over here, the students will see what group they're in. The groups normally do not change, and yet again, they're based on what the students need. So if somebody cannot add, I would not put them in a group with somebody who can add independently. They would be among other students that also need support with addition as well. That way, I'm not sitting there teaching somebody how to add 1 plus 1 when they already know how to add 1 plus 1. So some students will start off in the teacher group with me, and in the teacher group we will look at their worksheet, and yet again their worksheet is based on what they need, and it also relates to the lesson that we just watched as a whole group. We will do a few problems together as a class. I have a board that I write down the problems that are on their paper, and we will go ahead and we'll talk about strategies and how to solve them and what we'll do to help. Then after 15 minutes they'll switch, and then they might go to the independent group. Please know that all 4 groups are rotating. It's kind of like a circle. Normally they start at teacher, independent, computers, games, or some go games and me. So it's kind of like a big clock. After they go to meet with me, they go to the independent, where there they'll work with a group and they'll keep working on the same papers that they just learned strategies with me. But now they'll have their group. Here they're allowed to work together and help and support each other, which is awesome. If they don't understand a lesson or they have a question, they're told to leave it blank until they come and meet with me. Since we have RTI math, I've been telling them to leave it blank until they meet with me for RTI math or with the RTI teacher. If they don't meet with myself or the RTI teacher that day, they will keep the paper until the next day. And then when they come meet with me for teacher group, we'll go ahead and review any questions, problems, or concerns they had. After independent group, they go to computers, and at computers, they do things like ST Math, Front Row, Prodigy, any kind of game that strengthens our lesson for the day. After computers, they go to games, and yet again, the games are related to what we are learning. So we are just learning about greater than and less than. And we are talking about how you can turn greater than and less than symbols into Pac-Man or alligators. So what the students were doing is they were taking dice and they were rolling them, and they would write the number that they rolled. So if they rolled a 1, they'd write a 1 on the paper. And then their partner would roll it, maybe they rolled a 2. So then they were instructed to draw an alligator mouth eating the bigger number. So that's just one of the games. These are not nonsense games, and the students are instructed how to play. Each group has a captain. Their captain's in charge of making sure everybody's on task, and also if there is a lack of supply, they also are in charge of making sure there is some supply as well. Students are more than welcome to use the bathroom when they are doing computers, independent, and games, as long as they scan out and as long as they put the pass on their desk. We also do the same format for RTI and same with reading groups. Although reading groups right now, since we're talking about how to become a good reader, we're mostly doing whole group. But when we get into our mystery unit, we will be following this format as well. Social studies, we do a social studies weekly every day. It's a short, tiny paragraph with 3 questions that are in the article. Yes, I read it to the student, and then a student rereads what I just read. And then we have the questions read to the students out loud, and I tell them to circle the answer in pencil and to highlight their evidence. I will tell them if there's evidence in the paragraph ahead or where they can find evidence to support their answer. We are super duper big this year on making sure that we're finding evidence to support our answer. We don't just want students picking random answers for no reason. So math, we also are doing for math. I'm sorry, not math. For science, we are doing Mystery Science, which we do that as a whole group where we watch the videos. You're more than welcome to go to Mystery Science to see what a lesson looks like. And writing it again, right now we are also doing a workshop that's exactly similar to this, but I'm starting off super slow just by doing poems and whole group, just getting students used to and comfortable to writing because I highly doubt that they were writing personal narratives during the summer. So that is how we are doing lessons in the classroom. And that is why the worksheets that we do for math are not homework, because the student is constantly supported by myself or the RTI teacher. If you have any further questions, please feel free to email me or to contact me on the Class Dojo, and I'm more than happy to answer them. Until then, have a great day, and I will talk to you very shortly. Bye-bye.